Hi, boys and girls. Hey, I came to school on Saturday. It's raining outside, but I had to get some things and I wanted to record a lesson, and I left the tripod at my house. So this is just going to be a little bit different. I have my phone on a little stand, and I'm hoping that I can still record this lesson since I came all the way here to do it. So, okay, so our letter this week is I. We're working on I. Now, we're going to be talking about this all week. I is a vowel. I is a very special letter, okay? All of the vowels are special. A, E, I, O, U. Those are all our vowels. And the reason it's so special is it doesn't just make one sound, it makes two sounds. Or usually we just say the vowels make more than one sound. Okay, the letter B always says B, B. The letter F always says F. The letter D always says D, D. But the vowels can make two sounds. It can make a short sound like any inchworm, and it can make a long sound like I, like an ice cream, okay? Or island. So we'll be talking about that a lot this week. So what I want you to look at first is, let's go ahead and make an I. And I think I'm gonna have to go around to the other side because I'm right-handed. So I have to do it from this direction. Yeah, I think that this is good. So I is going to be super easy, isn't it? Right? I'm going to start on the top, straight line down. I'm going to go back to the top, make a straight line on top, and a straight line on the bottom. That's our capital I. That's also a sight word, isn't it? When I say I like you. Okay, and then little I start in the middle. I put a straight line down, and then I make a nice little dot right here. I'll talk about the dot again when we get down here. Okay, I, capital I, straight line down, straight line on the top, straight line on the bottom. So we have a vertical line that goes up and down, a horizontal line on the top, a horizontal line on the bottom, and of course that means that goes across. Okay, little I, start on the fence, in the middle, straight line down. Now here's the important thing. Okay, on an I, you don't dot it right at the top. You don't dot it way up here on the top line. Between the top and the fence, between the sky and the fence, right here, a nice little dot, okay? And you don't put a teeny tiny dot like that because I can't see it, and you don't put a big scribbly dot like that. I think I'm gonna try to go up, oops, sorry about that. Up a little bit closer so you guys can see it. And we're gonna do a handwriting lesson later on in the week, so I'm sure you guys are gonna get it. Sorry about that, I don't have my tripod. Okay, then here's the sound of I. I is for iguana. Okay, iguana. Iguana. Okay. I is for igloo. Igloo. I is for invitation. This is an invitation to a party. It says you're invited to a party. Invitation. And then they give us one with a long I sound. That is looks like a delicious mint chip ice cream cone. Ooh, that's making me hungry. Ice cream. So you don't hear in that word. You hear the letter I. Ice cream, right? That's a long vowel sound. The other three are short vowel sounds. Okay, here's the poem. There's an iguana named Izzy. Okay, Izzy the iguana inspects insects in a tree. And then we do the I sound, inch by inch. Inch by inch means that Izzy the iguana crawls very slow, looking for insects. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Actually, let me read it and then I'll give you guys a chance to do it. I know that's kind of far away and you can't see that. I'm afraid to move my camera closer. I don't want to shut it off. Okay, so my turn first. Izzy the iguana, your turn. Izzy the iguana, here's Izzy, inspects insects in a tree. Inspects insects in a tree. Inspects means she's looking very carefully. Now we do the I sound. Inch by inch. Inch by inch. An inch is only about that much, so that means Izzy's going very slowly, looking for the insects. Okay, I am going to circle the I's. Izzy starts with a capital I, and then iguana, and then inspect has an I. Insect starts with the word in, and then I think that's it, and then we'll circle and and an inch by inch. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 eyes in that little poem. Okay, I'm gonna try to move this over here very carefully. All right, I better hold on to it so that it doesn't, because it's not on the tripod. I think we can make that work. I am gonna make it work. Okay, so here is our Alphachant for today. You see the capital I, the lowercase I. If you're in the classroom, I'd let a few of you come up and touch that, because that's a kind of a bumpy, sort of like a plastic tape, but it's all bumpy. You can actually feel it. So when you trace it, it's tactile. And look at that iguana. Okay, now an iguana is a type of lizard. Some lizards are only like about this big, this big, this big. But guess what? Iguanas can be up to, boy, I think like 5 feet. I mean, it's crazy. When we were in Mazatlan one year, Mazatlan is in Mexico, we were laying by the pool, and there were some of the biggest iguanas. They look like little dinosaurs. My daughter, I think, was 14 at the time, and oh, she was freaking out. She did not like those iguanas. But you know what? They are not meat eaters. They are herbivores, not carnivores. So they eat plants, mostly plants, and a little bit of fruit. So you really don't have to be afraid of an iguana. They just look a little scary sometimes. I is the title page, and here are our 4 words. I is for inch, okay, and here's a ruler. This is a ruler. A ruler is 12 inches, but they're just showing you how big an inch is. Here, I'm gonna measure it like this, and then I'm gonna bring my finger over there. That's about how big an inch is, okay? I was gonna get a ruler out, but I forgot. This is an inchworm. They call that an inchworm because sometimes they're about an inch long. And also when they crawl, it looks like they're measuring up and down, up and down. Okay, here's an insect. I think it's a grasshopper, huh? Looks like it might be about 1 inch long. And here's a iguana. Okay, an iguana is a reptile or a lizard. All right, and here's our story, our Alphachant. An inch is an inch. Here's a little girl. She's showing you how big an inch is on a ruler. This is a whole ruler, and a ruler is 12 inches, or 1 foot, but she's showing you how big an inch is. You think that's big? Not really. Pretty small, right? Okay. Is an inchworm an inch? So boys and girls, look at, they're measuring this little inchworm. Does it look like it's 1 inch? Yeah, an inch. That inchworm is about 1 inch. Now we're starting with a sight word. Is an insect an inch? Well, some insects might be, but this one looks like it's almost, let's see. Yeah, that one, that's a huge grasshopper. That looks like it's about that big, about 4 inches. So no, it is not an inch. Okay, yeah, 4 inches. Now, if you measure all the way with the antenna, it's actually 5 inches. Look at that. Is an iguana an inch? If this is an inch, boys and girls, if this is an inch, is the iguana an inch? No, let's see if I can measure it with my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they have it actually. Oh, they have it all the way to 9 because they're measuring from the tip of the tail to the tip of the nose. It's 9 inches. If it was just a few more inches, it would be the whole ruler, right? So the answer to that question is no, the iguana is not an inch. An inch is an inch. And then you could just take a peek. So out of all these things, what do you think is an inch? Oh, that might be a fun little thing to do this week, is to do some measuring with a ruler. That key, that's a very small key, yes. I think the bee would be about an inch. Is a feather an inch? I'll just take my fingers. No, it's bigger. How about that beetle? That might be an inch. How about the eraser? Maybe a little bit more. How about that car? More than an inch, right? How about the leaf? More than an inch. How about the crayon? That's more than an inch. Yeah, so some of these things, only a few. The key, the bee, and that, even if you measure from here all the way to the antenna, actually that would probably be 2 or 3 inches, right? Okay, I think I would like to read this one more time because we stopped a lot, didn't we? We stopped and talked a lot. So let's go back over the words again. We've got inch, inchworm, insect, and iguana. All 4 of those words are short I. There are no long I words in this book, okay? An inch is an inch. Is an inchworm an inch? Can you answer that question? Oops, I'm sorry. Yes, I meant to do this. Yes, I was looking here and it looks so big, but that's because we're using a magnifying glass. Is an insect an inch? No. Okay, more than an inch. Is an iguana an inch? No, it's way more. I think this little girl looks a little bit like Brianna. Brianna, do you think that looks like you? I think it does. An inch is an inch. And we'll read it one more time without the pictures. An inch is an inch. Now we're going to start with the word is, our sight word. Is an inchworm an inch? Yes. Is an insect an inch? Some of them are, right? Is an iguana an inch? Nope, not that iguana. Is an inch an inch? Yes. Okay, good job. Now, I'm going to try to get this stand and carry it over here. I hope this is going to work. I have to remember to bring my tripod next time. Okay. Let's see. Give me a second, boys and girls, because this is on an adjustable stand. It's kind of like a music stand is what I found. Okay. I think that's going to be okay, and I will just hold it up. So, and you know what? We're already at 11 minutes, so I'm going to try to make this really quick, okay? This page in your workbook, okay, it says sound for I, but I do have to tell you, and I do see the glare on there, but I think we're going to have to just deal with that. These words do not start with I. Some of them have I in the middle. So I'm just going to do this with you, okay? We're looking for things that have I in the middle. So the first word is pig. P-I-G. Do you guys hear an I? Now, if you want to, you can write it out. P-I-G. Okay, now you see the little I in there, and you don't have to write it out, boys and girls, but I want you to see it. So you're going to circle that. Now, the directions don't say to circle it, that you have a little pair of scissors here. It says to cut these apart, practice saying them, and then kind of make a pile that where you hear the short I in the middle. I'll leave that up to you guys. You can cut them apart, put them in a little baggie, practice the I that way, or you can do it the way I'm doing it. I'm doing it like this because I want you to be able to see it. This one is, I think it's a baby lamb. Is that what it is? Let's just say lamb. Ooh, ah, ah. I do not hear it, I hear it, ah. How about there's a baby calf? K, ah, ah. There's another A, huh? Okay, let's do this one. Chick. Okay, ch, I. Do you hear an I in there? I do. I'll write it out for you guys just so you can see it. Ch, I. Okay, right in the middle of that word, there's a I sound. I'm going to circle that, and I'll color it later. Okay, this one is duck. D, Okay, I'm trying to hold that up so you don't get the glare from the window. Okay, that's a U sound. So you're just listening for the vowel. Okay, now this is not an animal, but it's a wig. Wa-I-I-G. I'll write that out so you can see it. Wa-I-I. There is a I sound in the middle. Okay, this is a horse. H-O-O. Nope, don't hear an I there. And this is lips. O-I-I. And if I write it out, you'll be able to see it. So the kids don't have to write this out, like I said. It's just I'm doing it so they can see that lips has an I in it, chick has an I in it, wig has an I in it, pig has an I in it. So it's the middle sound that we're listening for. I'm going to do this really quick, you guys, because we're already at almost 14 minutes. You know how to do this. This is going to be our little I Alphachant. You're going to cut it apart right in the middle. You're going to read it just like I read the Alphachant. I read it like 3 times. I read it twice, and we read the other one at the back of the book. So you guys should know it. So you're going to go through. You're going to practice reading it. Now, sometimes when we read these books, let's see if that works. Something's wrong with that. Let's see. Inchworm. Okay. There we go. I got it. When we used to read these books, a lot of times it was just memorization, which is good. That's how you start to learn how to read, by memorizing. But now you can go back and you can actually read some of this. You can read the 4 I words, and then you can say, an inch is, okay, well, you know that sight word, an inch. Is an inchworm an inch? Okay, so they're going to start recognizing some of these words. Is an insect an inch? Is an iguana an inch? An inch is an inch. So go ahead and go through the book. Circle all the I's. I am not going to do it for you because you guys know how to do it. Circle all the little I's and the big I's. You're looking for big I, little I. And then where are you going to put this book? In your book box, right? And you can read it as often as you want. Don't forget to write it on your new November reading log. Bye.